Why don't Jews believe in Jesus as the Messiah? This is a question that has intrigued people for centuries. Today, we'll explore the biblical and historical reasons behind this belief. Stick around because what we uncover might surprise you. First, let's understand the term Messiah. In Hebrew, Mashiach means anointed one. The Jewish scriptures, known as the Tanakh, describe the Messiah as a future king from the line of David who will bring peace, rebuild the temple, and gather all Jews back to Israel. This is a very specific vision. But when Jesus came, many Jewish leaders didn't recognize him as fulfilling these prophecies. Why? The Jewish expectations for the Messiah are rooted in passages like Isaiah 11:1-9 and Micah 4:1-4. These texts speak of global peace and universal knowledge of God. However, during Jesus' time, these prophecies didn't seem to be fulfilled. Let's break down a few key points. Number 1. The Messianic Age of Peace. Isaiah 2:4 says the Messiah will bring an era where nations will beat their swords into plowshares, and there will be no war. In contrast, after Jesus' crucifixion, wars and oppression continued. To many Jews, this meant the Messianic age had not yet arrived. Number 2. Rebuilding the Temple. Ezekiel 37:26 describes the Messiah rebuilding the temple and restoring Jewish worship. However, during Jesus' time, the Second Temple was still standing, and it was later destroyed in 70 AD. This lack of fulfillment led to skepticism. Number 3. Gathering the Jewish people. Deuteronomy 33 speaks of God gathering the Jewish people from exile to Israel. In Jesus' era, Jews remained dispersed across the Roman Empire. This was another sign for many that Jesus didn't meet the messianic criteria. Now, let's look at Jesus' claims. The Gospels present Jesus as fulfilling spiritual aspects of the Messiah, bringing salvation and teaching love, humility, and forgiveness. But the Jewish response, as seen in John 10:33, was that Jesus' claim to divinity seemed blasphemous. John 10:33. You, a mere man, claim to be God. For Jewish leaders steeped in strict monotheism, the idea of God becoming human conflicted with their understanding of scriptures, like Numbers 23:19. God is not a man. Another significant reason was the crucifixion itself. According to Deuteronomy 21:23, anyone hung on a tree is under God's curse. To many Jews, the idea of a crucified Messiah was contradictory. They couldn't reconcile this with the triumphant, kingly figure they were expecting. From a Christian perspective, Jesus fulfilled the role of the Messiah in a spiritual sense. Verses like Isaiah 53 describe a suffering servant who was pierced for our transgressions. Christians see this as pointing to Jesus' sacrificial death. However, many Jewish scholars interpret this passage differently, seeing the suffering servant as the nation of Israel itself. It's important to note that Judaism is still waiting for the Messiah to come, while Christians believe he has already come and will return. This difference doesn't have to divide us. Instead, it can encourage meaningful dialogue and mutual understanding. The question of why Jews don't believe in Jesus is deeply rooted in biblical interpretation, cultural context, and historical experiences. By exploring these perspectives, we gain a richer understanding of both faiths. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. God bless you,